Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing today? Can you hear me out there? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Hello, hello. How's it going? Anyway, hopefully everybody can kind of hear me out there, and if not, I'm sure you will let me know. But I wanted to just welcome you to the stream. And today we've got a very special guest, Charlie. Has come on, just chatting with him earlier for a little bit. And, he's been on a bit of a sabbatical for a while from YouTube. I think he's had some things. Busy things in his life, and but he's agreed to come on because he is going to be coming on later on, starting his own stream again, and so I just wanted to kind of introduce him back into the fold, and he'll talk some more. But without further ado, I just like to bring him on in, and we can start chatting. So come on in, Charlie.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, very well, very well. Nice to see you. And I'm glad you can make it. And I know you had run home from work to catch the stream. And thanks for taking that time out. Hey, Charlie, I wanted to ask. Now, in your neck of the woods, could you give us kind of paint a picture for us people on the West Coast? What happens and what is it like out there?
Sure. Okay. Geography speaking, we are south of New York, east of Pennsylvania, north of Delaware. If you were to look at a map, our little strip of land in the southern piece of New Jersey looks like it's peeing on Delaware. It's got a little thing down there. And as far as weather in the wintertime, we drop down probably in the dead of winter about in the 20s, and in the summer, we can get as hot as 100, but usually in the mid 90s, low to mid 90s is where we hang out during the summer months. And as far as metal detecting, which is what we're after, no problems on the beaches. Beaches, while we have a whole eastern coast of the state is all borders the Atlantic Ocean. And as far as the woods and inland, why the most dreaded thing we have are ticks and chiggers and that sort of pestilence, which I tell you, it gets to be some in our area, especially along the wetland areas. Oh, the bugs that they can, yeah.
Okay.
And so much so, in fact, oh, you there?
No, yep. Go ahead. Yep.
So much so, I think I've hit an age where the bugs is actually probably going to make me do strictly beach hunting during the dead summer months and save all the woods and whatnot for the winter months.
Yeah. I know I'm in the same scenario too. I mean, I do a lot of hunting in the parks and in the woods and what have you. And I had a friend a while back. He got a tick. And he spotted it before it really kind of burrowed into him. But I mean, you have to dress for it. I mean, I've always got a baseball cap on. I'll pull my socks up around my pants so nothing can kind of get in there, and have my boots. So just take those precautions, in the forest, because last thing you want to do is get some sort of a bug out there and curtail your hunting. Heaven forbid. But yeah, in terms of beaches, now how close are you to beach hunting?
From the house here, I'm about maybe 20 minutes to the closest beach. And then, of course, it depends on where on the seaboard you would go from there. It'd obviously be further away, but I could hit a beach in probably about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And in terms of now, are those beaches lots of tourists, or are they local people, or?
A lot of tourism, yes. Especially Atlantic City is probably about maybe 45 to 50 minutes away. Other big touristy area would be Cape May. And not only do we have the shoreline of the beach to mentally detect, we also have the shoreline of the Delaware Bay also to detect.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, so you've got lots of area to get out and find some items. Now, in terms of items you found, what's the coolest thing you found so far?
Boy, that's a toughie because
Everything's cool.
yeah, I hate to be that guy, but yes, you know what I love? The very last thing I found. One thing that's horrible about the YouTube channel, okay, and I don't know, it's not really horrible, but somebody will say, "Hey, do you remember when you found X, Y, and Z?" And I have to be honest, I'll be like, "No," because my brain's so focused on the last thing I found and the last thing I'm studying. I'll be like, no. And in fact, when I was sending you photographs, I was kind of like, I don't remember this. And I actually called my brother, and one of them was like, did you find this or did I find that? And then what's horrible is, says, Charlie, it used to sit on your mantelpiece. And so, yeah, usually it's the last best thing that I found that I'm really interested in. I'm not very materialistic. It Oh boy, I'll probably get a knife in the back for this, but it's stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the history behind it. I love it's more for the thrill of the hunt than it is for the item. So, and the things that are more important than those items.
Yeah. I know, I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, people always, and I guess they stop you too on the beach and say, okay, what's the most expensive thing you found? And really, it's not always the expensive thing. It's something really cool, something of history, and I mean, I love finding little toys. I just, and again, seeing some little kid has played with this somewhere along the way, And later on in the show, I'll show my last find that I found digging, So, and you're the same way. Is that history part of everything you find? Is there's going to be a little story behind it?
And like I found reals now. I found large cents, and when you talk about cool, I got probably the biggest kick out of finding an intact wooden Model T Ford rim in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
That was an awesome day. Not only that, but I was with my brother that day, so it was memorable. You're with your brother, and you got the camaraderie going on, and joking and calling each other names. Just jovial type thing, and then bang! You find this thing in the mud.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's I don't know. It's more than just the stuff.
Yeah, no, it is pretty cool to find some of that, especially because that would be a large item. It's not a small little thing. That's a big wheel for that Ford wheel. So, but in terms of, is there anything that you would really kind of still like to find that you haven't found yet?
Yeah. It's a tough thing. What it is, I'm also working on a book that involves privateers and pirates, and the more I get into it and read what they owned, I find myself daydreaming of digging and finding some of the material that they've had. I would love to find a Rix dollar, old German silver. I've got reals, so that's great. It's fantastic, and I would not turn down finding another one. But at the same time, I would love to find either an early French silver piece or an early German piece. And Mike Lyman sent me, probably going back 2 years now, he sent me a copper real. And I have to say, even though he gifted it to me, I would love to find one on my own.
Yeah.
But I treasure because it's something I've never found, and I think it's wonderful.
Now, is it actual copper that they made the reals out of?
The smaller ones, yes.
Oh, really? Okay. Because the other thing is, like you mentioned, the French. So, I mean, the French coins, I can see the coast. I didn't realize there would be a German coins along the coastline there also.
Oh, yeah. During early colonialism, they were using everything and anything, not just the Spanish reals, but also too basically anything of its metal value. You know, whether it was Rix dollars or if it was the French silver or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. No, that's interesting to know. I didn't like I said, I didn't realize that. So, but now I know you've been kind of out of the YouTube for a while now. Can you tell us why? I think you said you made a move or something.
Yeah, well, it's actually a couple of reasons. My last broadcast was New Year's Eve of last year. So I've almost been gone an entire year. You said it was a sabbatical. It was almost hibernation.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, Towards the end of the previous year, I was rather ill. Nothing too serious, which we came to find out, which was good. I kind of made the joke that it took a pandemic for me to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But so we had that going on, which I had to stop because I couldn't focus. I couldn't get the work done that involved doing the channel anymore. The pandemic hit, and then we decided to buy a house. And so between everything going on, why, yeah, things kind of, I don't want to say spiraled out of control. It was just, unfortunately, sometimes priorities get in the way. There's a John Lennon quote, which I loved, is basically, sometimes life is what happens when you're making other plans or something like that. Wait a minute. Something of that nature.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah. Huh, interesting. Oh,
But yeah,
okay. Yeah.
but now health is back to somewhat not normal, but back to where it could be.
Uh-huh.
And now I got the house settled and a lot of the work done to it. Well, we started thinking about getting back to the streaming again.
Good. And then you've got your date that you're starting. So if you want to tell us when you're gonna start streaming again, your first stream.
Yep. We've moved. We used to be Tuesday nights at 7, and I kind of, when Jersey History Hunters wanted to start streaming,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always a trick. You're always trying to find a spot. And when I was originally thinking of stopping because of between health and priorities going on, I said, why not take the Tuesday night 7 spot? I'm stopping for a while. I don't know if I'll be back, because at the time I was unsure of everything.
Yeah.
And take it. And they said, what if you come back? I'm like, if I come back, I'll find someplace else to go. I mean, it's not a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was rather hard just because of other priorities in life.
Yeah, yeah.
So when actually between the discussions with my wife and everything else going on, we found Friday night to be a good spot. Friday evenings. So we're going to start streaming every Friday at 7:30
Okay.
p.m. and that's Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's probably be a good time. You'll catch a little bit over us and some of the UK. I guess the diehards will be tuning in. But like you say, it is hard to find a time slot because to catch people kind of watching the live stream, right away. You do get a lot of people after the fact that come in that couldn't make it that will watch it, once you've uploaded to the YouTube. But it's nice to have the interaction with people right online. That's the cool part.
Oh yes. And I've already gotten death threats. But one was actually for my wife, right? Because I wanted to change a few things, not do exactly the same thing anymore, kind of change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I have a fake sponsor, and my fake sponsor is Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium toilet paper. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh no, but I have seen some of your miscellaneous finds. I think you had a pooping duck or something that was doing little candy poops. Where do you find all these?
My grandkids will find some stuff. My viewers will send me. My favorite coin right now is a hoopoo.
Okay.
A hoopoo is basically a Chinese coin. Let's see, I have one here.
Have you got one there?
Yeah, I'll try and put it up to the camera.
Okay, yeah, it's hard to see, but
Yep.
yeah, it's
Well,
cool.
And so, for whatever reason, poo has taken off on the channel. The toilet paper thing, I was going to stop doing that and do something different. And then, yeah, my wife says, no, if you do, I'll kill you. So I keep doing.
But you know what? I mean, my wife says the same thing. Like, I mean, she's been a teacher for 40 some odd years. So, but it's the bathroom humor. Always, the kids always love the bathroom humor at school. You know, so so it's no different when you get it all as an adult. You know, the poop. And I think I even saw you had even a poo emoji somewhere on your house, didn't you?
Yes, it's. I used to sit behind me in the live streams.
There it is. Yeah.
I have to go back and incorporate that in the view here. Also, dinosaur. This is Clad the dinosaur.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And yeah, he was part of the live stream too for a long while. He was named Clad by a fellow YouTuber named Ken PV, and unfortunately has since passed.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Clad stuck, and we have Rosie down here. Rosie was sent to me by SJ's Mixed Adventures. Well, anyway, we nicknamed the bot. I used Nightbot for the live stream, and it just felt odd calling it Nightbot, so I started calling it Rosie, and it stuck.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. That's a cool name. You know, that's a cool name to have. So, now, hey Charlie, the other thing is I've seen on your videos is you do a lot of old movies. How do you find those? How do you find those?
Well, the trick is, as far as using them for, and by the way, I am enamored of your setup and your technique here. That's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
But the old movies is a trick. In the States here, we have a thing that involves copyright laws. But with the age of some of the older movies, why they fall out of copyright if they're not renewed.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of free at large in an artistic manner to use clips and various things of that nature. Most of your old commercials, like I have one special commercial coming up for the start of the live stream next Friday. That commercial, nobody ever bothered renewing its copyright, so it's free to use, and it follows in, of course, with the potty humor. So
yeah. That was the question. Like, you know, because some of this, I mean, YouTube's always been such a stickler for copyright that you know. And I was seeing some of these movies. I mean, some of these are pretty famous people that you have on there. So how you were able to get them? So that was the way.
Yeah, you can actually research online whether or not a particular movie or not is in copyright or out of copyright. Sometimes even, I believe, Wikipedia has a list of media material that's still in copyright or out of.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be surprised at some of the stuff that is indeed out of copyright, such as there's a movie with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn called Charade. I believe it was made in the early 1960s. And that's actually out of copyright. You know, you'd figure Cary Grant, big name star, Audrey Hepburn, name star, they never renewed the copyright.
Wow. I know. I mean, I'm just gonna find your channel here, and I wanted to. I like. There's one that I saw that. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I probably can't find anything, you know, when you want it. But yeah, it's just no, I can't. Where'd it go? No. Just a second here. Just a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let me look at it. Now I just wanted to, and I'm gonna switch over to just to share the screen here. And I like this one here. When we came up, and I thought it was kind of funny. You know, these two guys are just both classic.
Oh, okay. That's Burt Lancaster.
Yeah.
And, And oh my goodness, I can't think of his name.
And oh yeah, I have the
He
same. It's right on the end of my tongue.
he just recently died.
Yeah,
Doug, Douglas.
Kirk Douglas. Yeah. These guys,
Yeah.
I love the skit that they were doing in this video. That I thought that was just hilarious. Uh, huh. I think it was some Oscar episode that they were doing there. But yeah, 1958, 59 Oscars. That was before our time.
Oh, it's still part of history.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy. But yeah, no, that was quite something to see that. Just like I say, I thought that was hilarious. And you do a lot of those kind of clips into your videos that you do. So it's always kind of cool to find those. Now, what else was going to ask you? Oh, yeah. Now we've got you have a few. Let me bring that share up again, and we've got some photos that we wanted to share here. So just again, let me just bring this up. There we go. So we had you had sent some photos here. And do you want to talk about these and tell us what they are?
Sure, sure. That is a base to an oil lamp. That was found in a creek. It was actually metal detected in a marsh, and that was at the end of the marsh. And basically, there was a small little, I don't want to call it a village, but it was like a little pier area where people had fishing shacks and whatnot. And during the Great Depression, people actually lived full time in them. And for whatever reason, somebody got rid of the base of their oil lamp and dumped it over into the creek.
Now, is
And
that porcelain or metal?
that's glass.
Oh, it is glass. Okay, okay.
That's
Wow, wow.
that's hand blown glass.
So, I mean, sometimes we see these wick things that sits on top that people find in the dirt, right? And the wick just kind of falls down into the canister there and for the oil.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah. Wow. So you almost got now. You just have to find the other pieces to it, and you can have a complete one.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let me just go to your next one that you have here and tell me about this.
Let's see. That is an early militia button. I used to actually always keep that on my desk. I do believe, if I remember correctly, that eagle is also holding anchor. So I believe it's a War of 1812 naval button. I think I'm trying to do this from memory because I can't really see it.
Let's see. We
But
kind of zoom in a little bit on it, and yeah. So yeah, so that's a
there you
button.
go.
I
Yep.
wasn't sure if that was some sort of a commemorative coin when I first saw it, but it is a button. So that's a pretty nice intact button. And yeah,
Yep.
the
And
eagle is holding a shield from the what it looks like there. So
yeah, it should be a shield with a anchor on it.
okay.
And yeah, I tell you what, to find a button of that age and still have the gilding on it, that's what really caught my attention with it.
Yeah, yeah, it is amazing. It really is, to see that. So that would be about, from the looks of it, compared to your thumb, it's about the size of a thumbnail. So it's a fair size button.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I came from a campsite along the Delaware Bay that I've been working on probably for the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny about the campsite is they were not there long. They were probably there for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And once a year, I'll hit that site. And for the past 20 years, I've always dragged something out of it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we always say you can't cover every square inch of an area that you go to hunt. So every time you go out, you're probably over, under, something,
Yep.
different spots. So things will turn up, especially if the fields get plowed. I guess, the plows will bring it up close to the surface and move things around. So it's kind of a cool thing to see that too. Yeah. So, wow. That's cool. I mean, I love seeing those old buttons too, and I see other hunters finding them and talking about them. So, yeah, that's a nice find. So, your next one here is, and let me just zoom back out of this one here because it's we're pretty close. So that looks like something a fairly big sign.
Yeah, well, actually, it's not that big. It's probably maybe 18 inches square, if not a little bit more on the rectangle side. But that's an old Gulf gasoline station sign, and that actually came out of the river. We have a inland river that comes through this part of the state.
Yeah,
and yes, somebody, when they were done with it, threw it into the river. And let me tell you what, that was found with a metal detector. It almost made me deaf. I mean, that sucker rang out. And
yes, it would, because it's a solid piece. It's definitely hitting it. So now we're talking about metal detectors. How many metal detectors do you have?
Well, I laugh only because we'll say there's 3 that work that I use, and there's probably another 6 or so that are kind of wall hangers.
Okay. But those they all work though, don't they? They all work.
But the wall hangers, some don't know if they do or don't. Some of them I picked up at yard sales because they're old and they're neat. One's got a head on it that's probably almost 2 feet wide.
Wow.
And yeah, it looks like you could pick up Mars with the thing. And I picked that up at a yard sale. The lady, she was all worried. She was like, "Oh, I don't know if it works or not." And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I have friends that collect them too. They'll pick it up whether it works or not because they just kind of think it's a cool little thing to have. So now the next photo, when I first saw it, I thought, Now, does Charlie, when he goes out, does he take a portable potty with him? It's a floating one at that.
Yeah.
Talking about bathroom humor.
In a pinch, well, literally in a pinch. Yeah, that can substitute. Doing a little bit in the marshes and the shallow areas. That's actually a sifter. I would try and basically dig around the target and plop it into the bucket. Unfortunately, I don't know if I sent you how many pictures I sent you of that, but there's
a few more to go. Yeah,
there's holes drilled into the bottom of it to sift the material out after it's dumped in the floating bucket there.
Yeah,
Charlie is not only cheap. Charlie is I just like making the stuff myself if I can.
Thrifty, not cheap, thrifty.
Thrifty.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I've seen them, where they have kind of like fruit baskets that are grated on the bottom, and they put that floaty around the edges to sift them, and they float. And I think I've seen the Jersey history hunters also, Rachel and Audra, using something that when they were down, I think they were with the scuba. Sanya, they were down some river that they were looking for some shark's teeth and things like that, which again amazes me that there's so many of it back on the East Coast. All these shark's teeth. It's just amazing. But anyway, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you gotta. Sometimes you kind of have to do these things, especially in a pinch. You're going out, it's just easy to do. So now here, I mean, look like we're just out in the water here somewhere. I'm not sure where this photo was taken.
Okay, that is along the Delaware River, and this is probably one of my favorite spots. Through the eras of history, the virgin coastline of an area really never stays the same because you have people encroaching onto the water. You have piers being built. You have fill basically pushing the water. Sure, and the water being pushed back by fill and whatnot. But in a couple of areas, there's still virgin coastline, and this is one of those spots along the Delaware River. Now, I love this spot.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, Delaware is just, again, those are, for us in Canada, that's kind of a historical name, and it pops up in history a lot. Delaware River, and so it's kind of cool to see. And now you've got another one here in the palm of your hands.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, this spot I love too because my wife went metal detecting with me one time at this spot, and it goes to show that you can't find it all, and sometimes you just have to grin and bear when somebody comes right behind you, and quite literally.
Yeah.
Sandy, who's in chat too. Why? That's a barber dime, a silver barber dime. And I believe I was pulling out Indian head pennies and cents. And in my heel print, she dug out this barber dime, the silver barber dime.
It is a bit annoying, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've been out detecting with a couple of friends too, and it's the same scenario as like I'm going along detecting and the Mine Lab. I've got the Equinox 800 the Mine Lab, and the Canadian clad, the coins are so bad. They're full of steel and they just get rejected. The Garrett machine somehow tend to kind of focus I think their algorithms are a little different. So I'm using the Mine Lab, and I'm going through and I'm getting the odd pennies. It's great for finding copper. It's excellent finding copper. My friend comes behind me and she's picking up all the quarters, nickels, dimes, and loonies or loony $1 coins and $2 coins behind me, following the same streak, but she's got a Garrett 400, so it's just the algorithms in these machines will just come up with different finds, so yeah.
And also too, I mean, some people are so in tune to their machine. I mean, probably the best metal detectorist I've ever hunted with had a Radio Shack special. It probably didn't break $40.
Yeah.
But this man, he was so in tune to his machine. He found more than I did that day.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Knew his machine so frontwards, backwards, and I think at the time I was using the Garrett AT Pro, and I was thinking, did I just waste a bunch of money on this thing? This guy, he's picking out all the buttons, and I'm like, holy cow. But some people are like that. Some people are so in tune to their machines. They know, what they've got, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. I think, a lot of times and it's so true. I mean, I have a couple of people I follow, Diggers Tyson Fury. He's just an incredible guy that he just figures out the ins and outs of the machines, and he's so in tune with them. Like and he doesn't have to be an expensive machine, but he's figured it out, and he can find incredible things over in the UK. So it's I tend to really kind of look at some of these people that do these reviews on them, and some of them are just so technical, and they find the smallest little details, about how to run that machine to find some of the good stuff. So it is kind of cool to see that. So okay, let's get the next one here. Now this is a photo here. I guess looks like you got some sand scoop. You've got a detector there. I'm not sure there's an imprint in the ground here.
Okay, that was the beginning stages of me unearthing the Model T, the wooden Model T Ford rim and wheel.
Wow.
Yes, and that's actually there's my old Pro Scan, my White's Pro Scan.
Okay. I see that. Yeah.
Yep, that's an old analog machine. And let me tell you what, along the salty high salt water, that sucker is wonderful. And especially the believe it or not, the solid disc on that machine, you would think wouldn't be very accurate. But again, after you get to know that machine, it was wonderful around the salt water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I have a White's machine also, and I just love it for the ocean, the water. It's phenomenal. It's just anytime I go to the beach, that's the first machine I pick. I take that with me all the time. So it makes sense to have that there. So now this wheel, is it in the middle of a field or where did you find this?
That was a low tide hunt.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. The same river that found the oil lamp bottle.
Yeah.
That about maybe a couple hundred yards or so away from that. And I think. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, because it looks very intact, So and you kind of you kind of think, now how did it get here, or why is it here? The question I would have.
Well, unfortunately, probably when that car was done, we'll say, let's guess, 1930s or 40s. Unfortunately, we things have changed. People then didn't pretty much care about the environment and would use basic trash as fill, and if they wanted to build out the property and take more away from or add to their coastline, to their property, why they would dump their cars, tractors, and etc. along the creek bank or river bank. And
yeah, no, it is a cool find. I'm just gonna continue on here as it's I guess you're unearthing it here. It's looks like it's quite mucky and
oh yeah, some of these creek hunts, mudlarking and whatnot. You kind of have to, after the end of the day, you got to hose down before trying to enter the house because you're just
Oh, good. I can believe it. And you got all that stuff stuck to your boots and what have you. So, and then here the final photo is you've got it. Maybe they threw it away because one of the spokes was broken. I guess they just tossed it away. But that's a cool find. That really is. And was there? And I'm just looking at. Was there still rubber around the wheel there, or?
No, that was actually the metal rim.
Oh, it's a metal rim on that. Okay, so.
Yeah. And if I remember right, the how I found that was actually weird. When I ran the metal detector over it, I heard basically a blip, then a big solid blop when I heard when it hit the rim.
Yeah.
That was weird. So I usually once I hit a target, I'll change directions to see if I get the same signal or not. So I'll kind of make when I did it the other way, just the opposite happened. I hit the rim, the hub first, and then hit the rim. And I was like, that's weird. Is that all the same thing or what?
Yeah. I guess from people say that things that are in a circle and continuous, they always seem to have a pretty good signal, with the machines. Like when you're finding a ring, your ring will usually hit pretty good. You've got something solid because it's a complete circle and it's a solid piece of metal that your machine has found. So, but yeah, no, that's a really a nice little piece of And where have you got that stored somewhere in your house? Have you got room for that?
Unfortunately, no.
Sandy says no.
Anything,
get it out.
No, and that's just, at the time when I found that, I was kind of in the early stages of learning how to properly preserve things.
Yeah.
We know of what should have been done, we'll say that. But once you remove that wood from a very wet environment, it becomes extremely brittle. Now, being older, wiser, and smarter, I would hope anyway, that entire thing would need to be soaked in antifreeze in order to preserve the wood.
Okay.
And basically, you would need to soak for actually a couple months to take out the impurities and whatnot. And I could have saved it, but unfortunately, without proper preservation, that wood just became brittle, whatnot. Unfortunately, the only thing I have left I think I still have the hub, and I have the valve stem.
Yeah, I guess the thing with that too is this probably was in the water, so it sealed off the air, so it didn't decompose without the air in there. And as soon as we take it out, all of a sudden now air is hitting it, so it just everything starts kind of breaking down from there. So I guess maybe oiling it too might help to preserve it, and greasing it down, and so now just this wheel kind of reminds me. Have you ever found a cannonball?
I have never found a cannonball. Well, I shouldn't say that. uh, um, we'll say I haven't found a cannonball that I can, without a doubt, say is a cannonball.
Mm-hmm.
I've found some smaller iron targets, which could be grape shot, and I've also found a what wants to be a cannonball, but right now is sitting in the garage and needs to have electrolysis done to it.
Okay.
So I got iffies. I got maybe, but
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Yeah, because I've seen some people finding these, and some of them are still intact, and they have to be decommissioned and defused, and the process that you have to go through to get some of that so it doesn't blow up on you is quite something, you know. But yeah, quite amazing. Now you have one more image here, and
That is a George Washington inaugural button. And
okay, so, huh.
yeah, around the outer rim it says "Long live the president."
Okay, so that was a button, I guess, from, I guess, when he was in the White House or something, or they had that.
Yeah, it was commemorating his actually being president.
Okay, okay.
I believe there's 20 some odd varieties, and then I'm going to try to do this from memory. I think this is variety either 16 or 17. I don't remember off the top of my head. You have to forgive me.
Yeah.
But this this came from a field, and this is a popular field with detectorists that's been hunted and hunted and hunted and hunted over and over and over again. And even myself, I've probably hit the same field. I can't tell you how many times throughout my lifetime.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, this one particular day, that pops out of the ground. And
well, it's a great find. You know, it's nice to have that little piece of history for sure. You know, so yeah, wonderful. You know, so great. Now, again, you know, there's an opportunity here for anybody out in the real world there, if you want to ask Charlie a question, to throw that into the chat. You know, we've got just a few people kind of watching currently, but again, you know, the scenario here is Friday. It's early for the East Coast. People are still kind of coming home. I know I usually have Nancy come and help me, and she's probably, you know, trying to get home in time too to come and do it. The Jersey Hunters always kind of come along at the end, and they're working. So a lot of people are still out working. You know, I'm retired, so to me it's a little bit easier, and you know, but yeah. So I've got let's see, Metal Sharks here. J-Man says super cool button. Fine, nice find for sure. You know, so it. So he's like that, you know. And I guess I had the question that she's, you know, when you're throwing the wheel out, Sandy says she's not that mean. It would make you throw it out. Oh dear, but yeah. Oh dear.
Very. Let me tell you what, and that's the thing, right? She's very supportive. I'll come up with some of the craziest ideas, and she'll be okay. When I was working on the book before the world decided to fall apart, I told her, it says there's a possibility of I may need to go to London for research. She says, okay. She says, well, I may want to go too. I'm like, well, all right, but just in case, I may have to go.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right. You know, so
it's always nice to have supportive spouses. You know, I know my wife is just, I mean, she is 100% behind me, and anything I do or almost think of, and she's very supportive, and I really appreciate that. You know, it's nice to have, and so, but yeah, no, I mean, London would be great. I mean, I think my wife would want to come too. You know, if I have to go do any sort of exploring over there, so that's one place I'd love to go. So if you had an opportunity, where would you like to go and do your detecting? What
you know, it's tough. I love the stuff I see that comes out of the UK. I couldn't imagine like metal detecting around Egypt or getting.
Yeah.
You know, there's just so much. But and with some of the people I do know from the UK through YouTube and whatnot, I don't know. I would probably would have to stay, the UK for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I would love to go over there because again, is I mean their history goes back so far, and finding things. But now that you mentioned it, with Egypt, I've never seen any videos from detectors hunting around out in Egypt. I don't know if you have, or I'd be kind of curious to see if, because that's an old place too. I mean they're finding a lot of great things in the pyramids and the tombs and what have you. So there's got to be something below that sand, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So okay, but yeah. So anyway, I just like I say, those are the questions, and it was just really really great to chat with you, Charlie. And if you want to just again just let the viewers know your upcoming first stream.
Sure, absolutely, and it's a great pleasure to talk with you tonight. But yeah, the live stream will be starting again every Friday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll have to start saying "All right, gang" again. I've been rehearsing.
Yeah.
But anyway, 7:30 is every Friday, and we'll get back in this grand scheme of thing. I got some stuff up my sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm a over planner, a little OCD.
Well, that's I that's nice to be. I like to be prepared too. I'm the same way. I'm prepared a day in advance for my shows. Everything, my templates, what I need to do. It's got to be ready because I've in my time as a salesperson, as a business owner, shit happens. So so you got to be prepared for it. So at least be prepared as much as you can, and then it wouldn't be as bad, that way. So, but yeah. But I like I say, I'm gonna just jump back here to the screen sharing again, and I wanted to let people know here that is my web page, and I've got the Metal Sharks is going to be coming up on next Friday, and it's going to be at 2:00. It's going to be an hour later than what you and I had started. So I'm going to have the J-Man on, and we're going to talk about Florida. I don't know much about Florida, so I'm kind of curious to see how and what happens down there. And I've seen some of his videos, so it's pretty cool. And then the following day, which is Saturday morning, 8:00 in the morning, I have the True Vikings on, and let me just play this little clip here of these two guys. I just love them, and I think they're great.
New season, brand new season. We asked you guys, the viewers, where do you want to see us? Anywhere in the world we can travel. Most of you guys said, let's go to
England.
But one guy said, what about Denmark, guys? And that means we're in Denmark.
We're in Denmark. They are land of Vikings.
Viking territory.
We're gonna be 2 weeks in Denmark. 1 week in Bornholm and 1 week on the mainland.
And Bornholm is the main stronghold of the Vikings. It's an island in the Baltic Sea. Most Viking stuff and old stuff, gold, silver, has been found actually here in Bornholm.
And we have some new toys in this trip.
Lots of good stuff.
We have a drone. Maybe we can fly something, get some more cinematic footage.
I love their humor.
Professional.
Yeah, we will try this YouTube thing.
YouTube stream. Something.
Yeah, so they'll be streaming with me next on the Saturday. So it's kind of a cool, like I say, it. Emil and Joel, it just and the fellow on the screen, he was actually in Vancouver a number of years ago. I think he was working out here for a little bit, and he's hunted the beaches that I go to, so he's very familiar. When I hunt on a beach, I've done that, or I've seen some of his videos along there, and I know exactly where he's been on the beaches. So it's cool to see them. So that's what I have coming up in the next little bit. So and then I've got some other ones later on for the Copperheads are coming on the 18th. and that'll be the last one for the year. And then, we're going to start off the new year with on January 8th with my friends out in Idaho, the Sodbusters, Larry and his son Ben. There again, just a great pair to watch, detecting some of the old farm fields and the history that they in turn down there. So it's kind of a cool thing. But that's, I just wanted to again, I'll wrap it up here, Charlie. I just again, thanks for coming on and spending a time with us and sharing your stories, and I look forward to seeing some more of your old videos to make us laugh and see how times have changed in the movie industry, so anyway, I look forward to maybe one day coming out and doing a little hunt along the river and the fields out in your neck of the woods, and you're welcome to come out our way. Hopefully this virus thing is over and we're able to travel and start doing some more fun activities. Life's short, and we want to try to get as much into it as possible.
Absolutely. Okay,
anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye to you here. I'm gonna end up just kicking it off now, and so anyway, cheers. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you later. Ciao for now.